Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Hadhrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
Huzur says that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
Sahabi,
a very earlier and very devoted companion, Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir was one of his companion.
इनके वालिद
His father,
हज़रत यासिर कहतानी नस्ल के थे,
from Tatani progeny, he was there,
अपने दो भाइयों
and along with his two brothers Haris and Malik,
में अपने एक भाई की तलाश में आए।
they came in search of one of their brother, and Haris went back, and Hazrat Yasir, he stayed on in Mecca, and Abu Huzaifa Makhzumi, he got a friendly relation with him, and Abu Huzaifa got him married to her slave, and Ammar was born out of this marriage. And Hazrat Ammar and Hazrat Yasir, they remained with him. And when Islam was introduced, then Hazrat Yasir and Hazrat Suhaib and Ammar and his brother Abdullah bin Yasir, they all believed in Islam. Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir says that from Suhaib bin Sinan, I met him at the door of Dar Arqam. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Dar Arqam at that time, and I asked Suhaib that where do you come from? Suhaib said that what's your intention? I said I wish that I should go to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and listen to his message. Suhaib said, I also have the same desire and intention. And he said that we both went to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Holy Prophet, he told us about Islam, and we accepted Islam. And we stayed there for some time, and then we came out of Dar Arqam, out of the sight of the people. And when Hazrat Ammar, when he accepted Islam, at that time more than 30 people had already accepted Islam. Narration in Bukhari says that Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir said that I have seen the Holy Prophet at that time, when along with him there will be 5 slaves and 2 ladies, and Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq was along with him among his followers. Hazrat Muslim Maud radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, regarding these companions, in one place he says that they were from the top families of Mecca, and there were many people from them who was honored with the service, and also from the poor people. They accepted Islam and they did very meritorious services. So now you can see Hazrat Ali, he was from a very royal good family, and Hazrat Hamza, he was also from a chosen family. Hazrat Umar was also from very distinguished family. Hazrat Usman, also from very selected family. And as compared with that, Zaid, Hazrat Zaid and Hazrat Bilal and Hazrat Samra and Khubab and Suhaib and Amir and Ammar, Abu Fuqaha, they were considered who were very ordinary people. In other words, from the prominent people, the servants of Islam were also chosen, and also the servant to the Holy Quran were chosen from poorer people. In one place he has said that Hazrat Sumayya was a female slave, and the master was punishing her so that she can leave the Islam. But when she was steadfast and there was no shaking in her faith, so one day Abu Jahl, who was a master, he put a spear in her private parts, and she got martyred. Hazrat Ammar, who was daughter of Sumayya, he was made to lie on burning sand, and he was tortured very badly. Urwa bin Zubair narrates, it is written in Tariq, in history, that Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, he was among the weak people in Mecca who were tortured because of the fact that they should be leaving their religion. Muhammad bin Umar says that Mustazafin, the poorer people, weak people, the people who are weak, and those who have been described as the weak people in the Holy Quran, these were the people who did not belong to any big tribe in Mecca, nor there was any protector, nor they had the power. And the Quraysh, they used to take them out in burning time, put them on burning sand so that they can renegade their religion. And similarly, Umar bin al-Hakam says that Ammar bin Yasir, Hazrat Suhaib, Hazrat Abu Fuqaha, they were so much tortured that they started saying those things which were not right. But out of this punishment, the enemies used to take these words out of their mouth. And it's also narrated. Muhammad bin Ka'b narrates that somebody told me that he saw Ammar bin Yasir wearing a trouser, and he saw some signs on the back of his body. And Hazrat Ammar told that this is the result of that punishment and torture which these leaders of Mecca used to give to me in the burning hot day. And Hazrat Umar says that the idolaters, Hazrat put fire on Ammar, and Hazrat Ammar was passed by the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Ya naru kuni bardam wa salam ala Ammar kama kunta ala Ibrahim, that O fire, you become cold for Ammar just as you became cold for Ibrahim. And in narration it is mentioned that Hazrat Usman says, Abba bin Affan says that along with the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, both of us were valuing Mecca. The Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam holding me with hand, and Ammar and his mother, they were being both tortured. And the Holy Hazrat Yasir asked that, is it going to be our fate for future? Hazrat, the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam show patience and also prayed for him that, oh Allah, Allah forgive Ali Yasir, all the family, and if Allah Almighty has told them that they are going to be forgiven because they have been going through very difficult torture. In one narration it is mentioned that the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he went by the Ali Ammar, they were being tortured at that time, and he said, O Ali Ammar, the family of Ammar, be happy because Allah Almighty has promised paradise for you. In one narration it is mentioned that Hazur passed by Ibn Yasir, and Abdullah bin Masud says that the first people who declared Islam were 7. The Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Ammar, and his mother Hazrat Sumayya, Hazrat Suhaib, Hazrat Bilal, and Hazrat Miqdad. Allah Almighty protected the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam through his uncle Abu Talib, and Hazrat Abu Bakr was protected through his people. In these narrations, there might be some mistake in number because there are 30 people had followed. It was mentioned in one narration when Ammar joined, but anyway, this narration says that these were the people who believed, or these were the people, and they were being tortured at that time. Anyway, they say that Hazrat Abu Bakr, he was protected by his people, and the remaining, they were caught by the idolaters, and they used to given iron bangles, and they make to stand in sun, and there was no one except except Bilal. All other people did not follow their desires, and he was disgraced, Hazrat Bilal, by these tortures, and the Quraysh used to hand them over to the children, and they used to take through the streets, and he used to say, Hazrat Bilal, Ahad, Ahad, that Allah is one, Allah is one. And these alerters, then sometime they used to dip his head in water and then threw them into the water and beat them, and other torture was there. So all this torture, which is very common in these days as well, to the opponents of those people, or some governments, also some criminals, they are given this torture. They were very badly treated. In one narration it is mentioned that the Holy Prophet ﷺ met Hazrat Ammar. At that time Hazrat Ammar was weeping and crying. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, the Holy Prophet started wiping the tears from his eyes, and he said that he was captured by the opponents, and he was put into the water, and whenever they do it again, then you do the same. The detail of that, Sirat Khatmun Nabiyyin, and with the narration of other people, Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib has mentioned like this, that Ammar and his father Yasir, and Walda, his mother Sumayya, and her mother was in the custody of these people sometime. And their conditions are such that somebody trembles by listening to that. And one community, when they were undergoing this torture, just by chance, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he happened to come that way. He looked at them, and in a very emotional way, he said, Sabran ala Yasir, fa inna maw'idukumul jannah, that, O family of Yasir, be patient and be steadfast. And because Allah Almighty, as a reward of these tortures, Allah Almighty has prepared heaven for you. And finally, Hazrat Yasir, in this torture, he passed away. And the old Sumayya was hit by a spear in her private part, and she died, and she accepted and embraced martyrdom. And other people, they also were suffered a lot of torture, and this they were told that unless you deny the Holy Prophet, this punishment will continue. And finally, Ammar, he mentioned some unpleasant word, and the kuffar just let him free. But after that, Hazrat Ammar, he immediately came to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and he was crying bitterly. He said, he was asked, Ammar, what has happened? He said, O Prophet of Allah, I'm damned, that because I said some words about you which were wrong, but that was under the compulsion. And Hazur asked that, how do you find the condition of your heart? He said, O Prophet of Allah, my heart is the believer just as way, and it is saturated with the love of Allah and His Prophet. So he said that, Allah, then it's okay, Allah Almighty will forgive this mistake of yours. Hazrat Massih Maud Islam, in one book of Chashma Marfat, he said, Hindu Prakash Dev Ji, in one of the book which he has written, the biography of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he has quoted some extracts from there. He says, the promised Messiah mentioned that his members of the community, that you buy this book and read it. It's written by a non-Ahmadi, and just as a summary of what he has written, I mentioned that, and then he wrote that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, the torture that was given to him, and he used to bear in whatever way was possible. But when he saw the torture of his companions, then his heart would go out of his hand. But he could not tolerate the torture being given to his followers. And he used to become extremely restless. And these followers, they were made the victim of torture. These people, they used to take them into jungle. And they used to take their clothes and put them in burning fire and put some hot stones on their chest. And these people would be lying there, restlessness. And many people died during this torture. And one of them, Hazrat Ammar was one of them, who stood steadfast against these torture, very horrible torture. And it should be called Ammar. And he was tight, and they were made to lie on very burning floor and sand and put some hot stones. And they used to force him to call names to the Holy Prophet, and that was done to his father and also to his wife. Ammar, the mother, was made to suffer the torture, and he was the one that his son was, and they were stripped of their clothes, and they were tortured so much that to express that is not possible. We cannot, because of shame, we cannot mention. And during this torture, this is the summary of that lady who embraced martyrdom during this torture. And this is summary what Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib has mentioned in that book related to that Hindu writer. Sufyan, he narrates from his father that Hazrat Ammar was the first one who prepared a mosque in his house for prayer, who put up a mosque. Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, he migrated to Medina. Hazrat Bashir bin Abdul Munzir, he stayed with him. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Huzaifa al-Yaman Razillah Ta'ala anhu, and Hazrat Ammar, he created the brotherhood between the two. And the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and for his residence, he gave a piece of land for him to stay. Tab and Ribas says, Hazrat Abu Salma and Salma, they migrated, and Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir was a member of the family, so he went along with them. Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir was related to her, and once he said to one of his relatives that Abu Sa'id Qudri, you go to him and listen to his talk. So we went there, and he and his brother, they were in a garden. They were irrigating the land. When they saw us, so they came to us, and he sat with us, crouched with us, and he said that at the time of the building of the mosque, we used to take the brick one by one, and Ammar bin Yasir would carry 2 or 3 bricks at a time. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by, and the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from his head there was a dust, so he removed that dust from. So he said that the other people might not kill him. Allah will be calling these people, but these people will be calling him to fire. Hazrat Ammar used to pray that I should be protected from these trials. Abdullah, son of Uzail, narrates that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he put up his own mosque, and all the people were bringing the bricks and stones from one place to another, and Hazrat Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Hazrat Ammar, both of them were doing, and he was reciting that we are the Muslims who build the mosque. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say al-masajida. He would also recite the same along with Ammar. Ammar was sick before, and some people said that today Ammar will die because he is doing very hard labor and he has just come out of sickness, so he is very weak. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, so he took all these bricks from his hand, and he asked him to take some rest in extreme sickness. So these people did not like to run away from these difficulties. Hazrat Salma narrates that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that the Ammar will be killed by some rebels. And Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir in Ghazwa Badr and Uhud and Badr, he was along with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He also joined the Baitul Rizwan. Baitul Rizwan is that Bait initiation that was done at the time of the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, when the Holy Prophet ﷺ, as a representative, he sent Hazrat Usman for negotiation. At that time, he was held back for a long time, and it got round among the people that perhaps he has been martyred by the non-believers. At that, the Holy Prophet ﷺ asked the believers, he asked them to come under the tree, and he said that I want to take a promise from you, a covenant from you, that nobody will not run away from battlefield, and he would offer his life, but he would not leave this place. On this announcement, it is said that the companions, they were just coming on top of one another to do this initiation and join this. And when the bath was being taken, at that time the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he put his left hand on the right hand, and he said that this is the hand of Usman. If he had been here, he would have joined with this. Anyway, later on that information was proved to be wrong, and Hazrat Usman came back hale and hearty. And but the Muslims at that time, they made the promise that we will offer even our life, but we are going to take a revenge, because they have killed an ambassador, and to take the revenge was very essential, and they killed him there. In one narration it is mentioned, Hazrat Arqam bin Hudayba, he narrates that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, when came to Medina, after some time for sunrise, he came, and he said that there should be some place provided for the Holy Prophet ﷺ where he can take some rest under the shade. He can take rest and pray. Hazrat Ammar, he put together some stones, and he founded the Masjid Quba. That is the very first mosque which was built, and Hazrat Ammar was the person, the builder there. Hazrat Umar says that in Battle of Yamama, I saw Hazrat Ammar that he was standing on a big rock, and he was calling to the believers. He was very bold. And O Muslims, O community of believers, are you running away from paradise? I am Ammar bin Yasir, come to me. And Hazrat Umar says that I was seeing that one of his ear was cut off, and it was hanging there, but he was busy in fighting. Tariq bin Shahab says regarding this ear which was cut, that and somebody taunted him as a person with a cut, with a person whose ear has been cut. So he said that you have mentioned some beautiful thing which I did in the way of Allah, and I did this sacrifice when I was fighting in the way of Allah. This is my best ear which was cut there. Khalid bin Walid says that between Khalid and Ammar there was a conversation, and I used some harsh word, and in order to complain about me, he went to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and I also arrived there. At that time he was complaining about me to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and I was showing some harshness. The Holy Prophet ﷺ was silent and did not say anything. Hazrat Ammar started crying, and he said that, O Prophet of Allah, that you don't see the condition of Khalid. The Holy Prophet ﷺ raised his head and said, the person who is having an enmity with Ammar, Allah Almighty will have enmity against him. And the one who has got rancor against him, Allah Almighty will have rancor against that. Hazrat Khalid bin Walid said at that time that there was nothing better, most cherished thing in my life, that Hazrat Ammar should become happy with me. And then he said that asked, I met Ammar and I sought apology, and the detail of that is mentioned elsewhere. Ashtar says that I saw Hazrat Khalid bin Walid narrating that the Holy Prophet ﷺ sent me on one expedition. That was a troop sent for against the enemies, and Ammar bin Yasir was along with us. And during this expedition, we came to such people that one family mentioned about Islam. Hazrat Ammar said that these are the people who believe in unity. But I did not pay attention to this conversation, and I dealt them with the people in the same way as I dealt with other people. Hazrat Ammar was asking me not to do so, that I will say the same thing to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Then Hazrat Ammar went to the Holy Prophet and told him everything. And when Hazrat Ammar saw that the Holy Prophet ﷺ is not helping him, and he was quiet, so in that condition he went back, and he was tears were coming down from his eyes. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ asked him to come, that, O Khalid, don't abuse Ammar. The one who does so, Allah Almighty will punish him for that. And anyone who has any rancor against Ammar, Allah Almighty will have rancor. And the one who declares him as fool, Allah Almighty declares him fool as well. Hadhrat Ali narrates that I was sitting with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir sought the permission to come. The Holy Prophet ﷺ gave the permission, and he said that a very pure and purified person, you are welcome. This was the honor given to him by the Holy Prophet. And Hazrat Aisha says that the Holy Prophet said that Ammar, whenever he is given a choice to pick up one of the two options, so he always picks up in which there is a guidance and right thing is there. Hazrat Ammar Radhiyallahu Ta'ala Anhu says that the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that Ammar bin Yasir, in his whole body, the faith has gone into his body, and he is just completely satiated with that, and he is counted among those people who have been given protection from Satan. Ibrahim narrated from Arqam, he said that I came to Syria, and people said that Abu Darda used to say that do you have that people who was protected from Satan? And about him, the Holy Prophet ﷺ has mentioned, and that was a reference to Hazrat Ammar. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, when he decided to go to conquer Mecca, and despite the fact that the companions were preparing for that, but it was not very open that an attack is going to be there. At that time, Hatib bin Balta, one companion, in his innocence, along with a lady coming from Mecca, he sent a secret letter in which there was a mention that the Holy Prophet is going to attack, and all the preparations they were mentioned. The lady went away, and the Holy Prophet ﷺ was immediately informed about that. So the Holy Prophet sent Hazrat Ali with 2-3 people. Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir was among them, to chase that lady and to take back that letter from her. Mentioning this incident, Hazrat Khalifatul Massih says that Sarah, the name of the lady, and she was grown up among the Banu Hashim. And when the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he decided to travel towards Mecca, so she came to Medina, and the Holy Prophet ﷺ asked her that, have you fled from Mecca after becoming Muslim? She said, I am not a Muslim, but the fact is that at this time I am in need of help, and the family of the Holy Prophet, and they have been looking after me all the time, so I have come to you so that you can give me some help. The Holy Prophet ﷺ told the people, and they gave her some clothes and some money, and she went back to her country. And when he was just about to leave, then Hatib, who was from among those people who witnessed Badr, and gave her this letter, that this letter you give to the people in Mecca. She accepted that, and she took the letter. In that letter, Hatib, he has told them that the Holy Prophet has decided to attack on Mecca, so be prepared. And that lady started from Medina. Then the Holy Prophet got the information through revelation that she is carrying a letter. So immediately, Hazrat Ali and along with Ammar and some other people, he sent those people that to capture that lady and take back this letter. And if he does not give the letter, then you can beat her. And when they caught hold of that lady, and she denied that I don't have a letter, Hazrat Ali took his sword, and we have not been told something wrong. Through revelation, this information is there. So you do have a letter. So because of the fear of the sword, so she took out that letter from her hair in the head, and it was discovered that it was written by Hatib. Hatib was called. The Holy Prophet ﷺ asked him that, why have you done? So he said, by Allah, since I have believed, I have never done something wrong. The point is that in Mecca there is nobody who is going to look after my family. I just wanted to have this benefit that the non-believers should not harm my family. And Hazrat Umar said that Hazrat Hatib should be killed, but the Holy Prophet ﷺ stopped them from doing so. And he said, Allah Almighty has expressed his pleasure to the people of Badr. You do whatever you like. And he said that I have forgiven you. This blunder and mistake was unknowingly he did, and the purpose was not to give any harm to the Muslims. Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, once he was appointed the ruler of Kufa, and the following commandment was given to the people, that Ammar bin Yasir and one other person as his assistant, I appointed as the Amir, and Ibn Masud is to look after the treasury. And these are the two people, very noble prophets of the noble companions of the Holy Prophet who witnessed Badr. So you follow both of them. They are very honored people. And Abdullah bin Masud, and I have given preference to you. And that some part of Iraq, which is because of its green tree, is called Sawad. I have given preference to him over you. And because of the complaint of Ahl Kufa, the people of Kufa, Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir was dismissed. And once Hazrat Umar asked him later on that when I dismissed you, didn't you dislike it? Hazrat Ammar said that now you have that asked this. At that time I disliked it, and when you appointed me as the ruler, but you had made me the ruler, so I became the ruler, and I was disliked when you dismissed me and removed me, and it was unpleasant, but he did not say anything. He totally showed the obedience. And when Hazrat Umar asked him directly, then only he mentioned whatever was the truth. Hazrat Usman, against the people who were created a trial against him when they created disorder in Medina, then unfortunately Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, because of his modesty and innocence, he also became in their trap, and otherwise he was not with the people. Hazrat Khalifatul Massih Sani, regarding this, he says that only 3 people, the resident of Medina, they were with them. One was Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, who was son of Abu Bakr, and historians say that because of his father, people used to respect him, so he thought that as if he is also a prominent one. Otherwise he did not have any special position in the world, nor he was companion of the Holy Prophet, nor later on he had some religious education later on. On Hajjatul Wada, in those days, the farewell, He was born at that time, and he, at the time of the demise of the Holy Prophet, he was still, suckling baby. Hazrat Abu Bakr, when he passed away, and he did not have the benefit of getting the training from this noble person. Muhammad bin Huzaifa was the other man. He was not from among the companion. His father died in Battle of Yamama, and Hazrat Usman took care of his training, and he looked after him since childhood. And when he grew up, then he asked for some office. He was refused, and he said that I should go out and do some work, and the permission was given. So he went to Egypt, and then along with Abdullah bin Sabah, he started instigating the people against Hazrat Usman. When the people attacked Medina, so he came with them, but he came for some distance and then went back. And at that time of trial, he was not in Medina. And the third one, Ammar bin Yasir, he was from the companions, and the reason of his why he got deceived was that he was not fully aware of the politics that was going on. And when Hazrat Usman, he was sent to Egypt, that you report me regarding the arrangement of the ruler there, Abdullah bin Sabah. He turned his ideas against the ruler of Egypt, and he was among those people who, during his period of disbelief, he opposed the Holy Prophet ﷺ at that time, and he believed after the victory of Mecca. So because of that, he was captured by these people, and because this has, and the love of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, when these people who said against the Hazrat Usman and the governor, so he was taken in by this thing, and the people thought that he might have been deceived by that. Anyway, in order to create this mistrust against the ruler, and they also had a misunderstanding about Hazrat Usman, but practically he did not take part in the disorder. But despite the fact that at the time of Medina he was there, except that he kept quiet at his home, and he did not take part in opposing these attackers. But actually he did not take part, but this is the weakness on his part. But he did not take part in defending Hazrat Usman against these enemies, but he did not take part in this conflict, and he is completely free from all these wrong statements about him. He stayed with Hazrat Ali for some time, and Jang-e Jamal and Jang-e Siffin, these two battles he took part there. Usman al-Salabi says that in the Battle of Siffin, we were along with Hazrat Ali, and I saw Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, the way he went, and whichever side he went, in the companions of the Holy Prophet were along with him. So he was serving as a flag for the other people. Abdullah bin Salman narrates that in the Battle of Siffin, I saw Ammar bin Yasir, that these were the battles, and it was the battles between Hazrat Ali and Amir Muawiyah. It is mentioned of those times. He says that I saw that Ammar bin Yasir was very old. Abdullah bin Salman says that he was very tall in stature. He was a brownish color, and there was a spear in his hand, and his hand was trembling. Hazrat Ammar said that in the name of Allah, in whose hand is my life, and I have used this spear when I was defending with the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and by Allah, if these people they kill us, and they throw us back to that back place where the palm trees are there, but I will declare that these people are wrong and the Holy Prophet is right. And Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir said at that time that bring some water, milk for me to drink, because the Holy Prophet said that the last drink that you will have in this world, that is milk. So the milk was brought, Hazrat Ammar drank from it, and then he went forward and embraced the martyrdom while fighting. And when the milk was brought to Hazrat Ammar, then he laughed. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ has told me that the last drink that you are going to have in this life, that is going to be the milk. And Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, on the occasion of Siffin, he said that the paradise is under the shade of the sword, and the thirsty person would reach the fountain of water. And today I am going to meet the Holy Prophet ﷺ and his people. Abdul Rahman relates from his father that Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, when he was going to Siffin on the bank of river Furat, he said that if I had known that if you like that I should offer my life here, and if I knew that your prayer is in this thing, that I should lit up a big fire and put myself into that, I would have done that. If I had known that if your prayer is in this, that I should put myself into water and get myself drowned, that I would have done that. I just for your sake I am fighting this, and I wish that you do not make me among the losers, and I just seek your prayer. Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, he was martyred there. A person, he killed him and he got martyred, and another person also attacked and cut his head. And both of them, they came to Muawiyah and said, both of them, they were saying that I have killed. Hazrat Ammar bin As said, who was with Muawiyah, whether he was a Sahabi or not. Anyway, he was a pious person, which is clear from the statement. Hazrat Ammar bin As said that by Allah, both of them, they are just fighting about fire. That whatever they have done, that is, they have killed Hazrat Ammar, and both of them, they are saying that I have done it. So you are just fighting about the fire. Hazrat Muawiyah, Amr bin Las, he listened to this, and both these things, they went back. So then the Muawiyah said to Amr bin As that, as you said, I have never heard somebody. The people have sacrificed their lives for us, and you are saying that these people are fighting about fire. Hazrat Ammar said that by Allah, the fact is like this. Allah, by God, you know it, and I also like it, that I would have died 20 years before, and this occasion had not happened, that we are conflicting like this. Hazrat Ammar died during the period of Hadhrat Ali, and at the age of 94 he died, and some people say that it's 93 or 92 years. Hazrat Ammar, he was buried in Siffin. Yahya bin Habis says that Hazrat Ammar bin Yasir, when he embraced martyrdom, he said that you bury me in my clothes, because I would be seeking the blessing of that. So he was buried in his own clothes. And Ishaq says that Hazrat Ali and Hashim bin Utbah, he led the Hazrat Ali, offered the prayer, and Hazrat Ammar was closer to Hazrat Ali, and the other one on the other side. And 5, 6 or 7 takbirat were there. So these two companions, who for the truth, they fought for that, and they offered their life. Allah Almighty elevate their status. There are some more to that, and that inshallah I will mention later on.